Will you miss Skittles candy? Is thinking about Skittles and rainbow kind of candy remind you of your childhood? And you know, they're pretty, but they're horrible. So let's talk about Skittles. Let's talk about the fact that in California, they're banning some chemicals found in Skittles, and not just Skittles. We're talking about close to 12,000 different foods. I put air quotes around that because they're not really food, but frostings and certain other desserts, sherbets, you know, just think about anything that has that artificial rainbow kind of color in it, and they tend to contain these chemicals that are banned in the European Union. You can't find these chemicals in foods in Europe, and unbeknownst to me, the red dye number 3 was actually banned 30 years ago in cosmetics. So we've banned it in cosmetics. Now, I'm the first to appreciate the fact that our skin is our largest organ, so what you apply on your skin, you are ingesting. But 30 years ago, banned red dye number 3, and now, but we still allow it in foods that our kids are consuming and ourselves as well. Now, red dye number 3 and several of these other chemicals, which I'll name for you in just a moment, are known to cause cancer and hyperactivity in children. So if you've ever known somebody who said, oh wow, I took all the food colorings, food dyes out of my child's diet, and definitely noticed that they settled down as far as their demeanor was concerned, very real association with these chemicals. But over the years, I've been in practice for 40 years, and there's been times when patients have said to me, listen, if it was dangerous, it wouldn't be in our food. If the drug was dangerous, it wouldn't be on the market. And it's a bit of a naive thought and proven out time and time again. But once again, we have the fact that these chemicals, and I'll name them out for you, it was red dye number 3, bromated vegetable oil, potassium bromate, and propyl, paraben, and titanium dioxide. This speaks to the fact that when we talk about ingredients lists on foods, hearkening back to, if you can't pronounce it, don't buy the food. And I think titanium dioxide, propyl, paraben, definitely falls into that category. That's not broccoli, it's not carrots, it's not almonds. It's not real food. These are chemicals, and they're making those beautiful colors in this terrible food and causing us lots of problems. So red dye number 3 is also associated with thyroid cancer as well as other cancers, and again, hyperactivity in children. So that's really what I wanted to touch on today. It's very important that we look at the ingredients of what we're eating and evaluate whether it's real food or not. Yes, Skittles and other things in that category are pretty to look at, but they look artificial for a very good reason. It's not surprising that the National Confectioners Association is not happy with this, citing, there's no substantiation that these chemicals are bad for you, which is, of course, utter nonsense. So, and interesting that, you can get Skittles in Europe and it doesn't have any of these chemicals. So obviously they can do that, and that's what they'll be doing. They have to refabricate their product. I'm sure it still won't be, of course, any good for you with all the high sugar content, and there will be some colorings, they just won't be as harmful. But it's all over the news today about the ban of Skittles, and it really is the ban of these chemicals, which I think is great. I'd love to know what you hear about it and your opinion about it, and what steps you plan on taking to make your diet a more whole foods diet, and getting away from these chemicals which are truly leading to the diseases you want to avoid. Heart disease, obesity, diabetes, cancer, autoimmune disease, cognitive decline, all associated with inflammation of your microbiome, those 38 trillion organisms in your gut, which dictate the power of your immune system. And these types of chemicals really upset that microbiome. Real food doesn't. So the more we can move in this direction of real food, I am all for it. I'd love to hear what you think about it. If your health is not the way you want it to be, please let us know. We're happy to help. That's why we're here. And if you like this content, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so more people can see this. I'll see you Monday. It's Friday. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.